Susan and Cobalt scope of work. I'm gonna price it out a couple different line items for its overall overgrowth, cutting back, cleanup. 90% of the work will be in the backyard based on the estimate, based off of what she accepts. So I would check in with her too, and check out with her, just because there's certain things she wants trimmed and not trimmed, and I'm going to be as detailed as I can in the video estimate. I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with everything. So all right, so starting in the backyard. So all the bamboo, leave it alone. Don't got to do anything with the bamboo. Overall, what she's looking to do is kind of just clean up her backyard. She doesn't want everything totally gone. She just wants it kind of trimmed back and cleaned up. Like, she likes all this privacy back here. She just kind of wants it tamed, and kind of, it's really getting into her yard. So she's looking to cut it back some. That fence line, she does want totally cleared out. And then this stuff she wants trimmed up. So I'll get into it in a second. So starting over here, I did tell her too, we can't go above 12 foot. And I told her, like, you know, a couple feet below the power lines is where we can reach. Anything like there and above, we're not gonna be able to touch. So get as high as you can for her, but you definitely want the 8 foot with the extender pole for this one, just to try to get as high as possible for her. All right, so starting here. So there's like this kind of weedy, you can see it's like a weedy tree kind of growing out. There's like one. Just snip that. And then anything over here that you can just try to trim back a little bit out of the yard, you can do that. The arborvitaes, there is 5 of them. There's like 4 big ones, 1 small one. Not gonna touch those at all, leave those alone completely. But you'll see there's more of this, I don't know if it's a weed or what, this kind of growth coming through the arborvitae that she wants cut back. Kind of cut it back so it's flush with the arborvitae, maybe even a little bit back from the arborvitae. And then again, like I said, get as high as you possibly can with cutting it back to get it out of her yard. And then this growth that is here, want to try to cut all this back that's above the arborvitaes. Again, you're not going to be able to get all the way up, but get as far as you can and kind of cut it back again, kind of flush with the arborvitae. So you're talking a couple feet cut back up here. Next, so this is a lilac bush right here. She said it's her mother's. Don't want to touch this at all. Don't trim this at all. Don't touch it. You can kind of see where it's sprouting from back here. Basically this whole area, you want to leave it alone. Again, this you can trim, but the lilac don't touch. But then you will see, and this is where it's going to take a little attention to detail. Don't just come in here and hack a shack, because you do have like a viney type of growth coming through the lilac that she does want cut, but she doesn't want the lilac. So it's going to be a little bit of attention to detail in this portion of it, because you're going to have to kind of be careful not to trim the lilac, which is these color leaves, and then but do trim these funky kind of leaves. That would probably be your best gauge as you're cutting through stuff, whether to cut back or not. And then in this area, a lot of this you can cut back. Then you have, it's like a green giant, or sort of like an arborvitae right here. You can leave that alone, no trimming needed of that. But there is that funky growth coming through it, so you can cut that. All right, so that's supposed bulk of the back of the fence. Next section we'll move on is to the pond area. So she wants to keep all this stuff, she just wants to trim it up and clean it up. So what you can do is kind of trim this ivy a little bit, give it an edge, manicure it lightly. This stuff, hedge clippers or string trimmers, whatever you think. She's looking to just try to get it out of the stones a little bit. So, you know, cut it back a little bit, cut it down a little bit, and then move into this area. So you can see there's like a statue up there, and then there's a waterfall here. So looking to just try to cut out kind of a path around where the waterfall was, and again just kind of tame this whole area, cut it down a little bit using string trimmers, hedge clippers, whatever. Don't need to touch this at all. This area, she said you can cut it back like maybe a foot or two, and then kind of cut the back part down a little bit. So, you know, getting it back away from out of the yard a little bit, and then taming it down with like string trimmers, probably your best bet with this area. This rose bush here, she wants that just trimmed and shaped up. And then the big part of the job, and I told her we're gonna have to get over to the neighbor's side to get this portion done, if she accepts this portion of it. will be to completely get rid of all that growth coming over the fence. So it's going to be a bit of a task, because like I said, so you have like 2 fences. Yeah, you have like 2 fences back to back. We're gonna have to go into the neighbor's yard. You're gonna have to move this stuff and cut all this back. So that's just gonna be a task. And cut all this out and rip it out and clear it out and haul it to the front. So, and that's the only entrance to the backyard. So again, we'll have to have access to the backyard of the neighbor. But yeah, basically just get rid of it all. She wants all that growth gone off the fence. So a lot of work, but self-explanatory. So that's it for the backyard. Then moving to the front, the only thing she wants done in the front yard is trimming up these 2 bushes. She said nothing like crazy dramatic, just looking to shape them both up. So I would take maybe 8 inches off of each one or something like that, 6 to 8 inches. Trim back of each one, give them some shape, you know, clean them up type of deal. And that's it.